I finally get to my Midwest DJs Live recap, and we talk about traveling on the road as DJs in this week's episode.
Tonight's DJNTV show is sponsored in part by Electro Voice, DJ Event Planner, ADJ, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, Newmark, and DJNTV Insiders.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of you and Yo Mama's favorite podcast, the PHDJ podcast, with your boy Joe Bunn, and on the other end.
What's going on, Joe? This is Mike, and yeah, you got to be careful how you pronounce that. Your mama and yo mama, two different things.
That's
so
totally true.
Be very careful. Do we have a lot of moms that listen to this?
Maybe,
I don't know if we
maybe.
do or not.
I don't know if that's our demo.
Yeah?
I don't think it's our demographic.
Well, whoever, if there are any moms, we should wish them a belated.
That's true. Belated
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy
Belated
Mother's Day. You know what I was thinking about? Speaking of belated, this is a great segue. What the hell ever happened to the recap of Midwest DJs Live?
We have not gotten to that yet, have we? We keep teasing that, and it keeps getting pushed off, which is a shame because I should recap it.
And I've been jealous that I didn't go.
I don't think it's too late now. But man, you were there last year, right?
Yes, sir.
And it was in Milwaukee, but not at the casino that it was at this year.
I believe it was at the airport hotel.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I can't speak to the airport hotel, good, bad, or indifferent. But the casino it was in this year was really good. Smoky, unfortunately, like a lot of casinos. But other than that, I thought the layout was fantastic. I thought the production was incredible. I don't even want to say for a regional show, it was amazing. I mean, they had a huge LED screen.
I saw that.
2 projectors, rear projectors on the side. No, I guess they were up. They were
on a truss.
Spotlight on the truss. Spotlight. I mean, it was an impressive.
I was like on the floor
setup.
with like a pop-up screen, like from elementary school.
They went a long way from 9 to 10 then, and I'm assuming they're going to keep that going. The speaker panel, the number of speakers and the roster was it blew me away. I mean, I was fortunate that I spoke first. I know I made a joke about it because they started me at 8:30 in the morning on Monday, but I had a packed room, so it didn't really matter. And I love the fact that I spoke first because I basically became an attendee the entire week, not week, 2 days. There was the Harley Davidson Museum was literally right down the street. And I was looking for like a 2-hour window in the content that I could, steal away and go check it out. And it never happened because every time I looked at the roster, I was like, oh, maybe I can break away now. No, Jim Cerone's coming up. Whoever was coming up, and I couldn't do it.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was great. I think anyone who is within driving distance of Milwaukee, which means Chicago, and that whole upper Midwest area should really look into. Pretty sure the website is Midwest DJs Live.
Yep, I think you're right.
You should look into the dates. I think it's late April next year. I don't know if they've announced a lot of speakers yet. I know Stacey Nichols is one. She's coming out, and I think her content is fantastic about social media and Pinterest. And I'd do everything I could to attend it because that was a phenomenal couple days. And like I said, I don't want to say it was a great show for a regional show because I would put it right up there with Mobile Beat and DJ Times, in terms of production and content. Really good.
It's a great show, period. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was there last year, enjoyed myself thoroughly, met a lot of people that I'd only met over the internet. And again, out of the 100 and some attendees, 95 of them drove there. You know what I mean? I mean, it's one of those kind of shows, kind of like ARM that's in Tennessee. People drive in from all over. Bodie drives in from South Carolina. I drive in from North Carolina. Guys come from Florida. What's his name? Nick from Promo Only comes in from Alabama. I think that's where he lives. Anyway.
Yeah, I think this is actually going to be a smooth segue into the topic that I know you want to take this in this. But I think the driving distance for certain people in certain regions is it changes. In New Jersey, if my guys have to go, and myself too, if we have to go an hour or more, we're pretty unhappy about it. And oh, why do I have to do this? And there's so many banquet halls 5 minutes away and everything else. But there are people in the Midwest whose average drive time 2.5, 3 hours. Yeah. Somebody was, I think Mitch Taylor was telling me is it his in-laws or whoever, they drive 40 minutes to get a carton of milk. Oh. So, you know what I mean? Like that, so you just get used to, this is the length of time. So your average wedding drive is going to be 2.5 hours. Whereas in a more populated area, I know for you, it's not, right? I mean, an hour is the long drive, not the short.
Yeah, Mike and I were talking, off air right before we hit record on this, which I guess we shouldn't be doing. But he was saying there's plenty of places, 5-10 minutes from his house. He's been down here to North Carolina several times to do our workshop together. Mike from that hotel where you always stay there's a dozen places that are grade A, wedding venues. So, and I live right around the corner from that hotel. So there's plenty of places around here. But getting to the topic at hand, we are, at the end of the day, mobile DJs, and we go where the people pay us to go or want us to go. So a couple of people have approached this subject, when they leave the comments under my post of the broadcast and under yours about traveling. So first off, let me ask you this, Mike. How do you guys do it over at Elite? Let's say that you have a city, whether it's in New Jersey or Philadelphia, 2 hours away, and these people are insistent. You did their sister's wedding. They want an Elite DJ to come to X city 2 hours away. What would you charge them?
So 2 hours away, and let me just be clear about this. First of all, we're lucky. New Jersey is a small state comparatively, and we happen to live in fairly central section. There's no part of New Jersey that's more than 90 minutes from our house. Or from our home base. I mean, some of my DJs, I've got a DJ who lives all the way down in South Jersey. Yeah. So for him to come all the way up to North Jersey, it might be 2.5 hours. But where we are, I can't drive 90 minutes in either direction and I'll still be in New Jersey. After 90 minutes, I'm out of it north, I'm out of it going west, I'm out of it going. So anything in New Jersey, we do not charge extra for, no matter where it is. If it's in Cape May, if it's all the way up in Sussex County, we consider ourselves a New Jersey-based company. And again, that's because the state is small and we're in the center of it. So we just consider we're a New Jersey-based company. We don't charge any travel inside of New Jersey. Up in Connecticut, upstate New York, places in Pennsylvania, if it's 2 hours, we will usually tack on $100 to $200.
But travel. Is it just something you kind of riff off the top of your head?
Yeah, exactly. We just say, you want us there. The package is $1,750. It is a bit of a drive, so we're gonna have to ask for $100 or $200 travel fee. That kind of.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Now, if it's 3 or more, we not only get more of a travel fee, but then we also negotiate for a hotel room.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So with us, it's a prime example was I did a private event, a rehearsal dinner party at the beach on Friday, and which broke my heart to go to the beach on a Friday and then have to wake up.
And not be swimming. In other words.
No, I wasn't swimming. I was swimming in sweat and DJing, and then getting up the next morning and driving back for a wedding, and it hurt my soul because it was.
Now, where did you stay on the beach? Did they get you a hotel room?
I would have made them get me a room because it's so far. It's 2.5 hours from here. But my parents, remember, have a house down there. So I got lucky. And nobody was there, which is even better. So, but I had to turn around and come back. So it wasn't like I was living the beach life. But so for us, we would count the time from here. So it's 2.5 hours to the beach. We say 30 an hour each way. So that's 5 hours total, 2.5 there, 2.5 back. That's $150 I added to the contract. And again, we used to say, just get us a room where the wedding party's staying, put it on your card. But I promise you, Mike, every time I did that, and they said, the room's taken care of. When you get there, just give them your name. I would get there, and they would say, okay, Mr. Bunn, we got your reservation. Need your credit card. Well, no, It's already paid for. Is the credit card for incidentals? No, it's not taken care of. They didn't sign this waiver or, this form or whatever. every time I would have to pay for it and try and track them down and eventually get paid back. So now we just add a line to the contract on DJ Event Planner, and it just says hotel $150. We just kind of came up with, I feel like...
And you're confident you can find a room for about that much.
Yeah, that I'm not going to get shot in or, robbed or whatever. That's...
Or worse, bed bugs. To me, that's I'd rather get shot in a hotel than bed bugs, to be honest with you.
I think the last year of Mobile Beat at the Riviera, everybody got bed bugs. Do you remember that?
Everybody went home itching and had to get fumigated at the airport.
So disgusting, man. Yeah. I never stayed there. But anyway, so now that being said, Mike, that money, all of that money always goes to the DJ. So if the DJ... I'm the same
way. We pass the travel along to the DJ, just like overtime, gratuity. We don't touch that. It should belong to the DJ. Yeah.
Well, if the DJ, though, so if the DJ decided he was done, at 10, 10:30, 11, and he wanted to make the trip back 2 hours or 2.5 hours, then he can certainly pocket that $150. A lot of the guys, what they'll do is if I book them at the beach or something on a weekend, especially during this time of the year, they'll just make a weekend out of it with their family and add another night and just stay there the whole weekend. Joe, don't book me on Friday or Sunday. So anyway, that of course should go without saying, but that money is really theirs. Now,
so let me ask you this: have you lost jobs because of that? You think?
Because of a
that
travel
added
fee?
But the added fee, I mean, hey, I was going to book you at your normal rate, but now you're tacking on, maybe an extra $400. Yeah. So you're okay with that?
Yeah, because I mean, Mike, it might be 2 to 4 a year. You know what I mean? Where somebody will respond back and say, "Yeah, we found somebody in Greensboro. We found somebody at the beach." I mean, sometimes people even ask me for recommendations. I mean, the beauty of the model that I have now, as you know, with these other offices, are that really the state of North Carolina, for the most part, is covered. I cover pretty much the eastern half of the state because our state is really long. And then Brandon and Charlotte covers basically from Winston-Salem, which is kind of just past the middle, all the way to the mountains, to Asheville.
Right. So if you get a lead out there, you don't even try to quote it with travel, you just refer it to him.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, when they get on the website, usually most people can figure this out, but they choose which region they're in at the top of the page, or on the contact form, Eastern North Carolina, Western North Carolina, Richmond, Virginia or South Carolina. But I did want to make a point that we do not nickel and dime people. So, you and I, when you come down here, we're always, I usually pick you up and we stay in the same neighborhood for 3 days or whatever. But, if we took a tour, which we should probably do next time you come down, because I think you would get a kick out of it. There are so many interesting and cool places from, 5 diamond hotels to barns to, there's a castle. I think I'm there this weekend in the middle of a cornfield, 30 minutes from here. I mean, and
that's so southern.
Random,
that's so North Carolina.
Right? It's the most random shit I've ever seen. I remember the first time I went there, like 10 years ago, I was reading the directions. Navigation wouldn't even get you there. And I'm like, where am? And I look over and I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's a castle in the middle of a cornfield. And they stay packed, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday from April through November, just packed. But my point is, we don't nickel and dime people. So that place is in Angier, North Carolina, which is Angier, which forever I was calling Angier. Then I got reprimanded by somebody at a gas station near there one day. And and so, it's 25 minutes away. We won't charge travel for that. But when it gets into that hour plus, even Rocky Mount, which is, 45 minutes from here, we wouldn't charge there. But again, when it gets to hour plus, that's when we start getting a little bit of money.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we just stretched out a little bit further. We do 90 minutes sometimes and don't charge travel if it's in New Jersey,
Look, and, while we're on the subject, guys, because I know that most of the people that listen to this, probably all the people that listen to this, just like Mike and I are at this point in our career, Mike did the radio, he did the bars, he did the clubs. I did the bars, clubs as well when we were coming up, and now we're pretty much mobile, and we do get done late still. I mean, not as late as 2, 3 in the morning like we used to, but 11, 12 once you load your gear up and everything. But I kind of wanted to parlay the second part of this, or the end part of this, into just being smart and being safe out there. I mean, listen, there is nothing I want more as the business owner than for my guys, if I've got that line on the contract for them to get a hotel room, I want them to stay. I encourage them to stay. I don't know how long y'all have been doing this, but I've been doing it a long time, and I can promise you, and it's nothing I'm proud of, that I've had more than my fair share of pulling over on the side of I-40, and I do this jumping jack thing. I do the window roll down when it's cold as shit thing. I'd run laps around the car. I do wind sprints from the car to the stop sign up the road. Like, it's not I mean, any report you read will tell you that it's worse than drunk driving. And I can assure you.
Right. I would say, I have often said, whoever invented those rumble strips on the side of the road, you have those in North Carolina,
yes, we
right?
do, yeah.
I thank that person. I don't know who it is, but that person has saved my life more than a handful of times, where it's late at night. And what I find is, when I leave an event, I've got that energy inside of me for like the next hour. I'm on. It's the same reason why when I'm close to home, I can't go to sleep. I might roll home at 12:30 after a gig, but I can't go to sleep right away. So I sit up on the couch, I have a beer, I watch TV a little bit until I come down off of that. But after that hour after the event then I start really crashing. I just had that situation a couple weeks ago. I was 90 minutes from home, and I was fine until the very end of that drive. And it was just like you described. Roll down the window, let that cold air hit me, and started shaking the head because I was really starting to get. And if I wasn't 10 minutes from home, I probably would have pulled over and shut my eyes for a little bit. But I was so close, and I said, let me get home. But yeah, I've hit those rumble strips a couple times and been like, oh, okay, I'm up.
It's a scary, scary feeling. And then even on that, every time as everybody knows, I'm a Michael Jordan fanatic. I've always loved him, but I mean, that's how Michael Jordan's dad got murdered. You remember, he pulled over on the side of the road to take a nap. Oh, that's
right. Wow, that's a dark segue. Wow. Yeah,
well, man, I always think about that. I'm like, I don't want to pull over and take a nap.
So are you suggesting our listeners shouldn't pull over, or they should pull over? What do you suggest? Which is better, to die in a fiery crash because you're tired?
I think pulling over to take a nap is not smart. I like the pulling over and doing like sprints or jumping jacks, or getting to the rest stop, or getting to, a convenience store, something lit, public. Like, I
think the real point is, if you have an opportunity to get a hotel room for a long drive, take it. Take it. Even if you get up at the crack of dawn the next morning and get on the road, you're better off. You're much more refreshed.
Honestly, guys, I mean, it will cost you, like Mike said, has it cost me in the past a gig or two because we added another $400 or $500 in travel fees to what they had budgeted? Yes, absolutely. But I promise you, it's not worth getting out there on the road. 7 times out of 10, you can probably still book that date somewhere local and be home to your wife and kids and dogs by, midnight.
So speaking of being a road warrior, do you have DUI checks down by you?
Every once in a while, I'll run through them. Yeah,
it's a fairly common thing in New Jersey, and I was reminded of it a few weeks ago that most people who don't travel late at night don't ever go through one. Kelly had a surprise birthday party for her mom. Yeah, her mom's turning 75, and so we're at her mom's house, and it, maybe 11:30 at night. We leave, and fortunately, I had stopped drinking, so I was fine. But I've got Kelly in the passenger seat, my mom in the back seat, and we go through a DUI check. And Kelly and my mom are both like, "Oh my God, what is this?" Because of swirl. And I'm like, "Guys, it's a DUI," because I go through them all the time. Yeah. I leave the party, and I'm fine. Especially when I'm working, I don't drink at work, so it's more of a hassle to to be slowed down. Right. Yep. There's a banquet hall 5 minutes from me, and it took me 25 minutes to get home one day because you're sitting in this crawling line, and you get a flashlight in your face, and where you coming from? I'm coming from work, but. It was a reminder to me, or an eye-opener to me, that most people aren't familiar with DUI checks because, like I said, my mom especially was like, "What is going on? I've never seen." And she's like, "Are you okay?" I said, "Mom, I haven't had a drink in an hour and a half. Right. I'm fine. I had 2 beers, and I haven't. So I'm fine, Mom." But it's just it's one of the things that we go through as
Mom
DJ.
Thinks you're going to jail that night.
Yeah, exactly. How embarrassing would that be?
God. With her in the back.
Right.
Oh, well, man, let's just let's make this a short one because we got to get one more in today.
Because we got traveling to do.
Yeah, we got travel. Mike's heading. Are you really going to Iceland for 2 weeks?
Well, let's see. When this drops, Kelly and I will be 5 days into a road trip. Speaking of traveling, we are renting a sleeper van.
Yeah.
And here's this. We always drop a nice word. We are circumnavigating the entire country, which is not that big. But yeah, we're spending 7 nights. And actually, I went like this. I should go like this because we're going clockwise around the country.
No, not this country. Iceland.
Iceland.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Iceland.
Yeah.
So, so when this drops, we'll be halfway through our trip around Iceland.
That's awesome, man.
And I don't think I'm gonna have a chance to hear it because I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can get SoundCloud or I don't know. I don't know what I can get over there.
Well, that's awesome, man. I know you've been there before, but you've never done this version.
We have never done this. There are going to be parts of Iceland that we've never seen that we're super looking forward to.
Awesome.
Check if you follow me on social media. I'm sure you'll see a disgusting amount of photos and it is. That's one of the reasons why we go there. Right, my super hot wife in hot springs and super hot people. Yes. Everyone in Iceland is taller than us and beautiful. They all have those great Viking bones, beautiful hair, beautiful. And their skin has never been touched by the sun. So it's a great country. We love it. We highly recommend it.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely going to check that place out. Eventually.
And not a far flight either. It's like 5 hours.
Yeah,
really
right. Proud of you, man. Well, thanks for listening, guys. As always, subscribe. Like, comment, leave us topics you want us to cover, and we will greatly appreciate you, and we'll be back with another episode shortly.
How we going?
Later.